Hello, so this video is just going to be a little reminder of how to do calculations with functions, how to evaluate functions at certain values, and how to do solving basic equations involving functions. So let's say you've got a function here, f of x equals x cubed minus x, where we've defined a domain x to be in the real numbers. So again, let's just remind ourselves, this is the domain of the function, and this is again arbitrary. We specify what the domain of definition for this function will be. So okay, so question number one, find f of minus one. Again, so the way we read it out loud, we say f of minus one. So we're evaluating the function at the number minus one. The same thing with this question number two that we're going to do. So evaluate f, the function f, at the value a plus b plus c. So in other words, find f of a plus b plus c. And then this third one, to solve an equation. So solve f of d is equal to d, where d is a real number, and yes, up here as well, a, b, c, and real numbers too. Okay, let's start with the first one. So we want to find this value of f evaluated at minus one. So we're just going to plug minus one into the function every time we see an x. So basically, we substitute in minus one every time we see an x. That's how these calculations work. So just a reminder from maths at school that this is how you do this. So you're just going to plug in minus one every time you see an x. So minus one cubed, subtract minus one. Again, just plugging it into there and there. And then we can just do the subtraction. So we get minus one cubed, which gives us minus one. And then minus one, well, that's going to be minus one plus one. And so what we get is we get 0. So that means that the function evaluated at minus one is going to give us, in this case, just the number 0 there. So, okay, that's the first example. Now then our second example, so f of a plus b plus c. So we're evaluating the function f at the value a plus b plus c. So again, we're just going to plug in a plus b plus c every time we see an x. We're going to substitute it in for x because we're evaluating the function at a plus b plus c rather than at x. Okay, so then let's just plug that in. So we're going to get a plus b plus c cubed, subtract a plus b plus c. Now I can't really be bothered to do the expanding brackets here because it's a bit tedious, but if you wanted to, you could do a plus b plus c multiplied by a plus b plus c multiplied by a plus b plus c. Subtract obviously the a, subtract to b, subtract to c, just by subtracting those three numbers there. You could, I mean, yeah, I would recommend expanding the first pair of brackets first, so expanding these, that with that, that with that, that with that, and then that with that, that with that, that with that. And then once you've got a solution there, you can expand this with this, these three terms in this third bracket, this third pair of brackets there. I'm not going to do that here because it's a bit tedious, but you get the point. You just want to plug in this number into the variable x in this case. That's the key point really from this video, that you plug the numbers in place of the variable x. And then the last one is to solve f of d equals d. Okay, so this time we want to solve this equation. We're going to plug the letter d in every time we see an x. So we're going to plug d into the x part and then minus d again, because remember our function is x cubed minus x. We're plugging d into there and d into there. Every time we see an x, we plug this number or that number or that number into the x. So then what we get is, when we solve this, we get d cubed subtract d, and we're going to set this equal to d because that's what the question wants us to do. So set that equal to d. So we get this cubic equation. So d cubed minus d equals d. We just take away d from both sides. We get d cubed minus 2d equals 0. Now let's try to factorize this. So we get d, because they both contain a factor of d. So d times d squared minus 2 is equal to 0. Now, how can we proceed to solve this? Probably a good idea just to use the difference of two squares here. So I know that this quadratic factor there, d squared minus 2, you haven't got a square number there, but you can still use the difference of two squares. You can still factorize this as so. You can still put your d there, plus sign there, minus sign there, and then square root that number there, square root 2, square root 2. And we're going to get three solutions. We get a solution at d equals 0, because if you have d equals 0, from this factor there, then you get 0 on the right hand side. You've got d equals negative root 2, and you've also got d equals positive root 2 as well. So you've got 3 solutions, 3 values of d which satisfy this equation up here. So again, this was just a summary to just remind you how you deal with functions, how you evaluate functions, and how you you can solve basic equations using function notation.